Hey everybody, this is Herc. How's it going? Please give me a 1 in the chat box if you can hear me. Just make sure that audio is all good. Right on, thank you, Grant. And give me a 2 if you can see the screen as well, please. So it should be on the Supremacy Digital page, schedule of events. And we'll get started right away. Does anybody see that screen? Just pop a 2 in the chat, please, if you can see the screen. Schedule of events. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Grant. All right, so everybody's here. Well, not everybody's here, but there's a few people on the webinar. So welcome to the webinar, guys. I think Todd will be joining us shortly. My name's Herc Magnus. This webinar today is a Project Supremacy V3 training webinar. And I apologize that I did have to change the date. You can see it's uploaded, or it's noted here. Typically, we have these on the, I believe, the first Tuesday of every month. But I had to change this one because on Tuesday I was just buried in work, and I totally forgot that I had the webinar planned simply because it was every month. So I apologize. I had to change it to today. Once again, the topics of today's webinar is Project Supremacy V3 and training. So the format of the webinar is I'm going to go over some of the updates that have happened to the software since we last had a webinar. And then what I'll do is I'll open it up from there to just general questions and answers that you guys can ask about Project Supremacy V3. And I'll try to answer your questions as best I can. So always with housekeeping, first of all, I'm going to send you guys a bunch of links right now. All the webinars that we have for all of our products, okay, are going to be on this page. I'm going to put this in your chat, so there you go. The list of webinars that we have and when we have them planned for will be on this page. You can always check for what's coming up and register for any of those webinars. If you're already registered for the webinar, it'll just do nothing, basically. Oh, yeah, sorry, thanks, Grant. I guess I wasn't sharing. Can you guys see that now? Yeah, there you see my page moving. Sorry. Yeah, so this is the page that I just sent you guys. This is the schedule of events for our webinars, okay, where you guys can see everything. So I've already sent you that link. The next thing that I want to point you to always is, well, actually, I'm going to do it on this page. The replays for our webinars, there's 2 areas that you can access them. The one area that I think you should access them is in the supremacy.digital members area, okay, under webinars, supremacy, and Project Supremacy V3. So that's one area that you can access this. And the reason I like it here, and the reason I want you guys to access it here, is because you have access to all of our other webinars that we put on in our entire history of our company. So like, even as far as like the guest webinars that we have, where we're typically selling stuff on those, but we still put the replays up so you guys can learn, because a lot of times those webinars, they teach you a process and then sell you a course or a tool. But excuse me, but we put those up as well. And then we organize everything by all our products. So Supremacy Digital, Q&A webinars, Project Supremacy webinars, Pixel Scout, Webby, SERP Tech, Keyword Supremacy, all our courses. So this is a great place to come and access absolutely everything. We also have a bunch of free courses in Supremacy Digital, and all that content is free for you guys inside of Supremacy Digital. So if you just go to supremacydigital.com and join, okay, I'll put this in your box as well. You can get access to all that for free. Okay, so there's another link for you. But the other place, if you just don't want to go grab them there, and just quickly look at the replays of the webinars for V3 specifically, is this link. I'll put that link in your chat, okay? V3 Webby replays here. So like today's webinar will also go up here. Now, I'm going to cover this again. I know a lot of you have already seen it, but I'm going to cover it every single time we come on a webinar because people still continually ask stuff. What is nice about this is that you guys, V3 is a really big software. It does a lot of stuff, and a lot of times you guys will have questions and you maybe won't know where to go get the answers. But The nice thing about this is if you want to learn about a specific feature, so let's say like project planner, you can actually search the keyword, and what that'll do is bring up a list of all the points in all the webinars, like the date. So this is 2017, October 31st, and at 72 minutes and 29 seconds into the webinar, we talked about, you know, this subject, okay? And this link, if you open the link in a new tab, it'll actually bring you to that webinar at the point in the webinar where we talk about it. So basically overall, what's happening here is you guys no longer have to search through hours and hours. There's like probably 100 hours of content in here. You can now search for it by keyword, right? If you want to learn about SEO, if you want to learn about backlinks, you want to learn about schema, anything that has to do with project supremacy, you can put in a keyword and it will bring back all the times we've ever talked about it. And then you can read what the description is and go watch it if it pertains to you or not. So I think that's pretty much it for housekeeping. A lot of you, like I said, already know that, but it's nice to cover every single time. Next, I want to cover some of the updates that have been happening to the software over the past little while. The first one obviously is there's now 2 rank track buttons. We're getting rid of Pro Rank Tracker. That's who we used to integrate with to bring the rank tracking. And you'll see now if you click on that, we've made an announcement there where we're switching over to a new custom solution for rank tracking. And anyone that has keywords that are rank tracking, it's easy to get them into the new system. Just read these directions. You just basically go to Rank Tracker 2, and we're going to leave both buttons up until basically everybody, or for some amount of time until everyone's switched over. But when you click on Rank Tracker 2, there'll be a button here that says, you know, put my old keywords into the new Rank Tracker, okay? And then it'll just start tracking your keywords using the new Rank Tracker. So that is one of the bigger updates that's coming. Some of the other ones, I get a lot of spam comments. A lot of the updates that we put in the software come as a result of me using the software and saying, oh, this is a problem or that's a problem. And one of them that I've noticed is a lot of my sites have a lot of spam comments coming through. You can see like 2,000 comments on this one, or more. Actually, I shouldn't have loaded that, but what we've done here is if you go to website, so that's millisupply.com. If we go to websites, and let me stop that process and actually let me close that screen just because I don't want to load all 2,000 comments there. There we go. So I'm going to go to websites. Okay, and then I'm going to look for that particular website. So I know it was Millie Supply. Okay, and I'm going to go into the manage aspect of it. So under comments, you can see that we have like, oh my God, I have like 106,000 comments in there. So people are attacking this site with spam comments. So obviously I know I need to go and probably use something like a Kismet to like stop the spam, but we've created just a better functionality to help you delete comments. It deletes comments up to 10,000 at a time. Whereas before it was like you can only select them like 100 at a time, and I was like, no man, like sometimes like stuff's getting crazy in there. So you can see now it's really quick. It's basically tied in a better way to the database to be able to delete spam comments. But obviously, if you're getting a situation like this where you're getting a lot of spam comments, you probably want to take an action on that blog, like go install a Kismet or something like that. You can see I don't even have it activated, so there you go. Now it's activated. I just got to make sure I put my API key in, and I won't do that on this webinar because then you guys will see my API key, but it will go activate the API key to stop that from happening. So number one, you will have now the ability to clean up a mess that's there like that, like 100,000 comments. It'd just take me like 10 clicks to delete all 100,000 comments, and then obviously take the actions that you need to prevent it from happening in the future. So the comments have been redone. I'm going to try and get them to just do a complete wipe as well. I don't understand why we can only do 10,000 at a time. We'll get that updated as well, but it's much better than it was. Another one of the updates that's come is actually over here in the link manager. Actually, I'm going to go to this one. There's been a few. I'm going to go to our SEO settings first. Inside the plugin now. Okay, under post types, taxonomies, and miscellaneous, we give you the ability to create a default title and description template for those types of things. So like default post titles and descriptions, default page titles and descriptions. And they can be short code based, meaning you're setting variables, right? Like page title or page URL and stuff like that, or they can be static. But one of the things is a lot of people use a lot of different plugins. So for instance, we use Thrive themes on our sites, as well as some other plugins, Aveda. And typically those types of plugins or themes will often add a lot of their own things. Like you can see this one, Thrive symbols, and Aveda portfolio. A lot of extra stuff gets added in, and we used to have kind of a bad naming system. I was noticing these popping up and I was like, man, I don't know what that's even related to. Like, you know, TCB symbol, what is that? So we've renamed things so that they're easier to understand what they're connected to, so that if you want to go eventually shut them off, or like, because these things affect, if you don't no index these, like don't allow them to be indexed in Google, you'll have a whole bunch of extra content or maybe duplicate content or all kinds of weird shit showing up in Google. So you can set these to don't index but still follow, and then you'll understand more about where they're coming from now because we've changed the naming of them. So we know this is Aveda, we know this is Thrive, we know this is Aveda FAQs, you know what I mean? We've just basically improved the naming of them so that you know through post type taxonomies and miscellaneous where things are coming from, and you'll have full control over the indexations and follows and no follow attributes of those things. The next thing that we updated was our open graph settings. I'm using open graph now because I'm starting to blog more about different features of our software. And open graph is just, it's so awesome. Like it allows you to control the picture, the description, and the URL, not the URL, but the title and the description and the image that shows up when you're sharing a post or a page from your blog on social media, either through Facebook or through Twitter. But typically the way that I was doing it was in my posts. If I go to all posts, you can see like in our blog, let me just go and open up one of these. So schema duplicator, where I was updating the open graph settings was in the PS SEO box on the post itself. So this blue box right here, when it loads, there's Aveda loading right now. So I could click over to social, right? And then control the Facebook settings for this particular post and the Twitter open graph settings for this particular post. But we realized there's more to it than doing it in a page at a time. So what we did is we have 3 tabs now, whereas before we only had basically your home page open graph settings. But then we said, you know, why don't we add a default open graph setting for every element? So like the stuff that you just saw where post types, taxonomies, if those somehow get shared or you want to share them, you can set up a default one. Okay, so like for posts, for instance, I could always set up a default one in case I don't have time to specify it to the content of the page. I could set up a default open graph setting that is always going to be shown on all my new posts if I don't update it, which is nice because sometimes I just don't have the time to update the extra little bit of open graph settings. So all I have to do is create a nice general one that'll work for almost anything on my blog or your customers' blogs, and put it in here, and it'll always show up now for every post, or in this case, every page if you fill it out. And it's just a shorter way to get things done. And then, so that's default open graphs. And then of course, custom post types. Not a lot of people are going to be sharing open graph URLs to custom post types, but we like to have things for people that like to do, you know, more advanced stuff, or more, I don't know, people like to do all kinds of crazy stuff, so we like to support it. So now you can also create open graph profiles for all your custom post types. So like for whatever shows up, these things, depending on what you have installed in your blog, is what's going to show up here. So for instance, we have Thrive symbols, Aveda portfolios, frequently asked questions, light boxes. So there's just all kinds of stuff there. Leave it blank. In most cases, a lot of you guys are just going to leave that blank. But if you do want to control it, you now have the ability to do that. Link management is the next one that got an update, and it's going to be getting even more updates. It's on the Trello board. One of the updates that we made last time was the ability to change your URL mask for masked links. Well, is everybody familiar with the link manager in V3? Give me a 1 if you are and a 2 if you're not. And I'll kind of know if I need to cover it in a little more detail or not. Just curious. Okay. Okay, so basically the link manager, guys, is it's a way to create links that you can use either internally on your blog, so like affiliate links and stuff like that, that you can, instead of pasting an affiliate link into your blog, you can use short codes, right, in your blog. So like anywhere I want the Articulo affiliate link to show up, I could use this short code on my blog, right, in all my posts and all my pages. And the nice thing about short codes based affiliate links is, let's say you have it on like 30 different spots in your blog and you can't remember where they are. And then all of a sudden these guys change from the ShareASell network to the Commission Junction network and ask you to update your affiliate links. Well, the nice thing is, rather than go and find all the 30 places that you placed your affiliate link, all you'd have to do is click on edit short code right after you've built it and change your affiliate link right here. And now, because you've used short codes to place your affiliate link, it will update inside the short codes everywhere, right? Which is a really nice way to use affiliate links in short codes. Now that's internally, okay? That's tracking. You can see we also have tracking our stats for our short codes and stuff like that. So the other one, and where this last update came, was when you want to use this link externally, so like in emails or on social networks or something like that. So we gave you the ability to brand the URL to your own domain. So we're on v3.projectsupremacy.com, and we've now created a link that I can go post on Facebook. So for instance, we'll go to facebook.com. I'll let me get back to Project Supremacy V3. Oops, let's close some screens here. Okay, so basically I'm taking, actually I'll use the PSv3 affiliate link, which is kind of cool. I'll copy the mask URL, which is the link that I want to use outside. Okay, so I'll click copy to clipboard, and now I can go to Facebook, right, and paste my affiliate link. Now the nice thing is it's a branded link, and it's kind of pretty, right? $go equals 17. And then once the link is posted, you'll see it loads up the nice open graph settings for whatever the landing page, wherever it goes. Like we're sending stuff to Project Supremacy V3, so obviously the Zaxa link is not a good one. So let me give you a better example. Let's actually use CSS Hero. I'm going to copy the masked URL for that product. We'll share that one on Facebook instead. Okay, so now it's going to fetch the preview. Even though we're using a link from our domain and our brand, it's going to go to the end of the line and load the open graph settings for CSS Hero. So it's a nice way to use your affiliate links, but hide the fact that you're using affiliate links on social networking. So, and it's also branded to your domain. If you use this in emails or you use this basically anywhere else, it looks like a link that comes from your domain. Now, the update that we made was before, it used to be a link that looked like this. Let me open up Notepad. And we've kind of gone in stages. Okay, when we first started, they looked like this. Okay, and actually let me change this too so you get a better example. Okay, it's still short and it still functioned, but it was ugly and people didn't like this word redirect. So we gave people, first of all, the ability to change this aspect of redirect to whatever they wanted, right? So like something like go or recommends or whatever you want. And where that is done is in the short code setup where it's called a URL mask. I use the word go, okay, and it changes the default setting of PS redirect to whatever you want, whatever you type in, okay? We use go. That update was done a little while ago, but now the next update is dealing with this integer here, okay? A lot of times I want to quickly use my affiliate link, but I have to come here, I have to look it up, you know, I have to be like, Articulio, what was that link for Articulio and what number was it? I couldn't remember, right? and it was because it was based on a number. The number didn't show here, so I'd have to go copy the masked URL and then find it, and it was just a headache. So one of the updates we did is, number one, when you click on that link, it used to copy it to the clipboard automatically. Now it loads it so you can actually view what the link is. And the next level update that we did is we gave you the ability now to update this integer to anything you want, right? So now your link can look like this, which is easy to remember, so you don't have to go look it up. Instead of 7, we can say, you know, Thrive, like Thrive Themes or Thrive Cart or whatever you want. You can have it say whatever you want. So you should know what your URL mask is, and you can create a name for the shortcode so that your link will basically now look like this, right? And which is nice because it's easy to remember. So if you want to quickly send someone your affiliate link for ThriveCart, if you have it set up in V3, just all you got to do is type in your domain !, whatever your mask is, and then whatever you choose as a URL ID. Okay, I'll show you how to set that up in a second. Actually, I'll just show you right now. So for instance, this is Webby register link. I'm going to click on edit this shortcode. Okay, give it in an internal name, and that's what it is. So I'll call it Webby register. Okay, and then I'll save that. Oops. Okay, and now when I go to copy that shortcode, I don't even have to know. I know it's going to be this because I named it that, right? So it just gives you more control over your affiliate links. So that's another update that's coming. And the next one that's on, sorry, that's already there. That's all there, okay? The next one that's coming, let me get back to link management, is gonna deal with the tracking, because right now what we're tracking, like these stats, where those are actually coming from are the short codes that you're using within your blog. So like, you know, the short code, right? But we're not tracking where you're using the link externally on your blog. So we're actually going to add another set of stats. We're going to have one for the internal links through short codes, and then we're going to have another set of stats for your links when you're using them externally. And just link tracking is just, you know, it's important, because if you want to track, say, you know, say you're sending out an email and you're promoting this CSS Hero product, and you want to track it to that email, we'll set up a link with a specific name, and then you can track that specifically. You know, and if you send a second email, you can set up a second link with a second name and track that specifically, right? So there's just, we're trying to get this short code bit or link management bit up to the par with like the Bitleys and all those other things in the world. So that's being updated. Oh boy. I'm going to stop there. We do have some other stuff in the works, and it has to do with the project planner and how we build silos. It's going to be awesome, but I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want people to start asking me when it's coming and stuff like that, because it's just in the planning stages right now. But there is more updates coming, some like pretty awesome updates to the silo builder for the project planner. I'll leave it at that. Those are the updates that are happening with V3 right now. Those are the new things that are already out. Let me just go back over here just to see if there's anything else I can remember. Yeah, those are the big ones, I guess. So I'll leave it at that, guys. Those are the updates that are coming. So what I'll do now is just open it up to questions for you guys if you have any questions. I will ask though that you keep the questions about Project Supremacy V3. They can be SEO related, but my answer is going to be, how do you use V3 to, you know, solve the SEO problem that you're having. So just keep them V3 related. So I'm just going to mute myself for a second and give you guys the opportunity to just start typing in your questions. Anything you guys want to ask about V3 or SEO how-tos using V3, go ahead and ask those now. And this is the Q&A part of the webinar. Actually just muted myself so I can take a vape without you guys hearing it. And if we don't get any questions, guys, it'll be a short webinar. That'll pretty much be it. So this is your opportunity to get me to personally answer stuff. And I have a favor to ask you. My GoToWebinar right now is showing a little bit weird. Can somebody just type in a random comment, or just, if you hear me, just type in a random comment so I can make sure I can see your stuff coming up? Because for some reason I've got a weird view of GoToWebinar. Okay, thanks, Bruce. I do see that. Okay, yeah, it's coming in. So go ahead, guys, ask your questions. I'll go over to Trello and take a look while you're asking questions and take a look to see if I missed anything. Thanks, Greg. You missed the updates, Bruce. So if anybody's never seen this, this is our Trello board where, yeah, it's recorded. I also did the housekeeping before you got here about where recordings go and stuff like that. So this is the Trello board for our programmers, where, you know, here's our, because there's two sides to Project Supremacy. There's basically the central dashboard, or the app as we like to call it, and then from there, you know, there's the plugin, right, with all its features. So on the Trello board, we have the app features that we want to see, the plugin features that we want to see, and then on these two cards are for like the bugs in the app that are getting reported and the bugs in the plugin that are getting reported. So there's a lot of new stuff coming in here. Ooh, a new front end UI. You can see there under the Manage Website section, moving global scripts. So there's nothing that I don't need to cover today there. Let's see what's in here. 301 redirects. Oh yeah, 301 redirects. Let's cover that. That's another update. And thank you for asking questions, guys. I'll get to them. I do want to cover this. 301 redirects. Give me a 1 if you knew V3 has 301 redirects, and give me a 2 if you didn't know it. If a lot of you didn't know it, I'm going to cover how they work. I love when you guys say you don't know shit exists in V3, by the way, because it's like half the time we're like, what? It does that too? Most of you don't even know 301 redirects. That's crazy. Okay, so the way that 301 redirects works, primarily, it does a lot more than what I'm going to talk about primarily. So see this redirects tab here, guys. If you go to V3 in your plugins, SEO settings, and then over to redirects. Now, yeah, Greg, 301s save your link juice. I'm not going to talk about what 301s are important for. I am going to talk about the functionality of 301s inside of the plugin of Project Supremacy V3. Where it started, guys, was automatically, if you have a post or a page on your site, and for whatever reason you change the URL, right? You can change the URL inside the project planner. You can also change the URL of your post and pages inside of the post and page editor. Now, if you change your URL, by default, WordPress won't redirect your old version to your new version. And if you're a link builder and you have a history of good links being sent to your old version, they're lost, right? So what we did is we created the redirect plugin initially to just automatically set up a 301 redirect for any time you made a URL change on your pages or your posts, right? Now, that can be turned on or off, okay? So under settings, okay, right here where it says disable automatic redirects, it's on by default, okay? If you don't want that to happen, come here and set this to yes, and it will automatically disable redirects, okay? Or if you're noticing you've been changing your URL and then funky shit's happening and you're not sure why, and you use V3, this is the first thing I would come and check, is do you have this turned on, which I should change these to on and off. Disable automatic redirects, yes, if you don't want it to happen, but no if you do want it to happen, okay? By default, we automatically, if you change a URL of your post page, we change it for you. Now, that's where it started. And then as it was happening, we also kept your log of it so that you knew, right, what was changing right here. Here's the URL it used to be, here's the URL where you want it to go, and here's the date that it was created, right? But we started getting obviously more in depth with this, and we want, yeah, I know. Thanks, Bruce. we were like, man, there's so much more we could do with redirects. Now, for instance, let's say you guys buy a PDN site, like a good auction domain or even an expired domain, okay? And you realize that that domain actually had a bunch of URLs on it that were really good, right? And a lot of times, though, those URLs, let's say, okay, you buy this auction domain, okay? And it had, okay, number one, you can install Project Supremacy on it, okay, and set 301 to wherever, right? That's one option that you can do with an auction or an expired domain, okay? You can install PSv3 and set a 301 to redirect of the home page to wherever you want to go. You can also do that at the registrar level, okay? So you probably wouldn't do this, but maybe it's better to have a WordPress blog installed if you're thinking for the future and you might want to not use it as specifically a 301, but for now you do. This is a good way to do it. Install V3 and set the homepage to redirect to wherever it is you want it to go, right? And then later on, if you change your mind, fine, come and turn it off and then build your blog. Now, next thing that you can do with the 301 redirects is, say you buy an auction domain and you notice it has power page 1, right? Well, now, but let's also say it used to be called ASP. You guys know all those old ass extensions like active server pages? Just a list of some of them, okay? .html, .shtml, .pl, Perl scripts, .asp. Okay, there's a whole host of extensions that you'll sometimes find with old ass auction domains, right? So what we did is we now gave you the ability, okay, to take any of those old extensions, okay, and set up a redirect. You can see right here as a test, 30101.htm. So let's say I want to add a new redirect. I would do oldpage.asp, right, on my blog and send it to the new page of where I want it to go. Now, this URL can be internally to a new page on your blog. It can be externally to off of your blog. It can be either or, okay? You can send it to Google if you really want to, right? It doesn't matter. It can be internal or external where you send the link. Now what you have the ability to do is take your power pages and redirect them. We'll obviously install PSv3, right? And redirect power pages to wherever you want to go, right? And where you would find what pages are powerful on an auction domain is in link aggregators like Ahrefs, Moz, Majestic, right? You just go look at what domain you're interested in buying and see which pages they have that were really powerful, right? You can even 301 redirect power pages to your sitemap, right? Just to spread links, That's a tip I picked up from Derek Wazi, right? So you could do that. What else can you do? We're working on, so these are the new abilities. We're working on the ability to redirect okay, file types, file names. So .jpegs, .pdfs, .movies, right? Because those exist too. So we're working, and sometimes people link to them, right? And if you have a powerful link that points to a file on your new auction domain that doesn't exist, well, we're going to give you it's coming. We're going to give you the ability to redirect file names to pages and posts on your page instead of going to 404s and shit like that. So this is coming. This is already there, right? And then the other thing we added was uploading from a CSV file, right? Like if you just want to add if you just want to add a shit ton of redirects, then you could just add a CSV file with the format of the old URL and the new URL and just upload a whole bunch at once. Okay, and then you can now edit. Before, I don't know why we didn't think of this. Once you set up a redirect, you weren't able to edit the initial page, only the redirect. So we fixed that. You now have the edit ability of editing the old URL as well as the new URL, okay? That pretty much covers 301 redirects. And for those of you that didn't know that this exists, it exists. Another feature that we are building, I'll cover some cool stuff, is actually a 404 monitor. Okay, so what that'll do is it'll basically log any visits to 404 pages on your sites. And so this is going to be huge, or in PBNs. Okay, it'll log any visits to those 404 pages. It will list the page URL that 404. Okay, it will list the link source URL. Okay, where did the click come from? Like, you know, if it came from another website, you definitely want to know, because there's a backlink that you may not have. So it'll log the visits to your 404 pages. It'll list the page URL that 404'd on your site. So like if it was like this page right here and there was a 404, it would tell you somebody or something tried to access this page. Okay, it'll list traffic stats to the 404 page. Why is that important? You know, traffic's a ranking signal, and you should definitely, if you're getting traffic sent to an old 404 page, you might want to set up a 301 redirect, which leads us to the final feature. We're going to have the ability to auto 404 to a 301, right? So basically, you'll be able to go in and say anytime a 404 hits, okay, and this is going to be done on global scale. So basically, all hits, okay? So ability to auto 404, anytime something 404s, you can 301 it to a page you choose, or the same ability, but URL specific. Meaning, you know, only auto redirect this, you know, if this page gets hit, auto redirect that. So it'll be global and specific. So that's coming as well. And that's going to be kind of tied into the redirects. So there'll be a new tab here called 404 monitor. So that's coming as well. All right, that's like 40 minutes of updates. I'm going to get back to the questions. All right, Walt says, which Facebook group should we hang out in to follow how you folks are using PSv3? Could you share that link? That's the Project Supremacy group. You could, I don't think you could search it on Facebook because it's a private group, but you can request, if you're not part of this group already, there you go, here comes the link. Request access there. You will have to give us your username because it's private members only group for owners of Project Supremacy V3, even though it's a free tool now, so we should probably open that up. But that's where you can go to talk about specifically PSv3. Mark says, do you have a tutorial from A to Z like this year, 2019? We do have, so we do have this, like, to answer your question quickly, and then I'll answer the 2019 version of your question after. Okay, we do have this link. Okay, so every time somebody joins Project Supremacy V3, we send them an email series that leads to each one of these videos, and these 8 videos cover basically all the functions and features of Project Supremacy V3. Now, you're asking specifically for 2019, Mark. Our software development team and I mean, just even on this webinar alone, I gave you guys an hour worth of updates that are coming. And one thing that's really hard to do is reshoot videos to add new features. So we don't have anything that's specific to 2019. So the best thing to do is just come to these webinars and check out updates. And let's go to webinars. And what I would do is check out updates, like just do a search for that keyword, like here. Because when we create these spreadsheets, Bob Perot actually creates these for us. He'll tag things, updates, so then you can see the date of the update and when we talked about it. So, but what we'd really love to do is create a written manual. like a PDF, an online PDF of every feature, and then try to keep that updated to all the stuff that happens. The challenge there is that we update it so much, right? So it's like, well, we'd almost need like a full-time staff just to keep those updated. Yeah, Bruce, it is. It's 2017, November 2nd, because we have to do things chronologically, and the only way to do that is 17/11/02. And then it filters chronologically properly, because if we did any other format, it wouldn't. Randy says, any thoughts on which page builders work best or worse with PS, i.e. Gutenberg, Divi? I mean, we have users of, I'm sure we have users that are using the new Gutenberg update to build sites. I know we have Divi users. I know we have Aveda users. I'm one. I know we have Thrive theme users. I'm also one. Typically, it works pretty well with most page builders. The only things that can sometimes be affected is the shortcode parts in the plugin, like, and those aren't even that big a deal. Yeah, no, Bruce, day goes last, so it would be 190912. Let me show you guys in the builder. Yeah, except the middle one's the month, and there is no 19th month. 09. Okay, so to answer your question about the page builder, so I use Aveda, right? And they have like the Fusion builder. So like when you're editing, I gotta look for like a text box, basically. Go to a page, actually. Pages always have text. Actually, maybe these have text. There we go. Okay, so in the text editor, this happens to be a text block, which loads kind of like a basic WordPress WYSIWYG editor. See these shortcodes here? Project supremacy, keywords, shortcodes, YouTube search, and image search. Really what these do is if you have the project planner set up and you want to do interlinking from one page to another using, proper keywords, this is just a quick shortcode to add those keywords into your content. So it's a shortcode. This one is relates back to our link manager. So you can see here's like our CSS hero link. If I wanted to add that as a shortcode, I could do it quickly from here without having to go look stuff up. YouTube is if you want to add YouTube videos quickly, and Pixabay is to add Pixabay images to your post quickly. These four shortcodes sometimes won't show up in certain page builders, right? But as long as it loads the default, what you see is what you get WYSIWYG editor, they will show up. But as you can see, they're not that big a deal, because you can get to all your project keywords through the project planner. You can get to all your affiliate shortcodes in the link manager. A lot of people don't use, like when they're searching for YouTube videos, they go to YouTube, right? So this is just a way to make it shorter, but some people just don't want to use it. So those things are really the only things that may not function with those other builders. Sometimes there's conflicts with other aspects of the plugin, Randy. But if there is, we just ask that you open up a support ticket and give us access to that site, and then we'll go debug it and see what, if there's a theme conflict or maybe a plugin conflict that's not working really well. There hasn't, as far as I know, at least support only brings up issues to us when they're major, to be honest. Like a lot of times they'll just answer and solve the problems themselves. We never even hear about it. They bring up issues to me and Todd when it's like a big deal and we need to step in and fix things. So as far as people having problems with major themes and stuff, we haven't heard anything in quite a while. So Grant says, what would you suggest as a good basic intro overview of Project Supremacy v3? Probably that onboarding link that I sent, training videos for PSv3. I think the maximum video length is 20 minutes. The hard thing about PSv3 is that it's such a big software. It does a lot and it takes a lot to explain it. So I mean, you don't want to sit there and watch an 8-hour freaking marathon of every feature that the plugin has. You're more interested in like, what does this plugin do that I don't know that it does, right? And what I would do in that regard is go to that onboarding page. Well, number one, attend these webinars because people ask questions and then I show features and then they realize like a lot of you didn't even know we had a 301 redirect tool built in. Well, there you go. Now you know. But these videos will kind of talk about all the different features that we have. So it's a good starting point. And then just by using it and coming on the webinars and speaking in the Facebook group and just being involved in using it, you'll learn more and more and more about all the features because there's a ton of them. I mean, the idea is to reduce your plugin weight inside your blog, right? Like people will install like 30, 40 plugins to do all these like little common things that we do as SEOs. And really what we're trying to do is say, listen, you don't need 50 plugins. You know, Project Supremacy is going to reduce the need for like a ton of them, right? It'll do a lot of them. Like if just off the top of my head, Yoast, let's just go through these. Yoast, Pretty Links, Backup Buddy, what was this one? WP Fresh Start, System Stats plugins, Project, Jesus, that's like 4 already. Link managers, Pretty Links, backups, or there's just a ton of shit inside of one plugin, but it's one plugin. When you have less plugins on your blog, it's faster, lighter, and it reduces your chance for conflicts with other plugins. Bruce Nell, do we have a silo maker? We do have one coming, like a wicked good silo maker. Oh, I want to show it to you guys, but I just don't want to get everybody else. Okay, let me see what I can. I can't show this yet, guys. There is a silo builder coming, so that instead of building pages and posts in WordPress the way that you used to do, like you go create a new, it's basically going to be like on this screen. You'll click a button, add a page, and then you'll be able to drag it underneath another page to make it a category, and then add a page and drag it wherever you need it to go. And then we'll do the same thing for posts, but those will be controlled by the tags and the categories, whereas pages will be controlled by the parents and the children. And they'll also hook up to your project planner so that everything's drag and drop. So like you guys have seen, well, I don't know if you've seen, but most of you by now should know by about our project planner, right? So these are the project plan that I'm worried about for these 5 pages on this site, but these are static. You can't move anything around. So just imagine that this was the page, and let me do this. Let me sending. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I number them so they show up when I organize them, whatever. But let's say that this was a page and then this was going to be an inner page. You'd be able to like select this whole box and drag it over, so it would indent kind of like WordPress menus, and then you'd know that this is a sub page of this, and it would actually create the command in WordPress to actually do it as well. So it's coming, and then of course we'll still have, you know, all these features in there where you can look at all your keywords and your competition metrics and stuff like that. But it's basically just going to be everything's going to become drag and drop and zoomable, so that, you know, not the whole screen, but just this portion will become zoomable like this, so that you can build really big silos and look at everything from one. It's a big update. We haven't even started on it yet. The only thing that the coding team has seen is the wireframe for it. So basically what you guys just kind of saw, they got a meeting where it's like, guys, we want to do this, but it is coming. So it's a whole new way to build WordPress pages, plus optimize them right from a single dashboard. It's almost like PSv3. I don't know. Yeah, we can't really show the silo builder because we don't. All I have is the wireframe for it, which is just a picture of, in my mind, of how I want it to look. And it's really a very, very similar to what you're seeing right here, except it's going to be drag and droppable. It's going to be cool. It's going to be so awesome. I can't wait for it. That's it. Any other questions, guys? Kind of at the bottom right now. Is everybody a member of Supremacy Digital? Does everybody understand the difference between Project Supremacy and Supremacy Digital? Give me a 1 if yes, a 2 if no. Sorry about vaping. Supremacy, okay, most people do. Yeah, so we started with Project Supremacy V3, right? That was mine and Todd's, sorry, Project Supremacy V2. That was mine and Todd's first product. And then being that it went really well, we started developing other products, and shit kind of got messy because we had stuff over here and stuff over there, like Project Supremacy and Keyword Supremacy, and then we had AMP Supremacy, and then we had SERP Tech and Local Supremacy, and then we had Pixel Scout, and like all this stuff, right? It's like, man, we're one company, but we have all these products. So really, we registered the domain Supremacy Digital to kind of be like the umbrella, the parent of our company. So, and then we put all of our content from every time we created a software, we created a members area for the software where you could access the videos. But then people were like logging into too many things, and I just like, I'm an organizational freak. I'm OCD to the max, right? And so I was like, no, everything needs to start going into Supremacy Digital. Sorry, video came up. Let me pause that. It scares me. So I put everything inside of the members area. The front end of this site is basically about our company, right? And the back end of the site, the members area, is where we host all our replays. And so if you guys want to meet like who works for us and shit like that, this is about our team. And then, here's all of our products, just like information about our company, right? What events we have coming on. We have a blog, and then the members area, if you join, which is free to join, contains all the training aspects of all of our products, right? So all our webinar replays organized by product, we have free courses in here, like our past courses that we've done, Supremacy stuff. Just that's basically what Supremacy Digital is. So everybody should grab a free account from this. Because everything's here. It's just a more organized way to find all the information you need about all of our products. We're also going to start mailing from Supremacy Digital, just kind of switching our brand over from, Project Supremacy, Keyword Supremacy. We're Supremacy Digital. That's who we are now. And we're going to start changing our brand over more and more towards that. So everybody should get a free account over here because there's a lot of cool shit in there. And then go click on the Make Money link because we have something super unique that nobody else has. If you guys like our brand and you share it, we'll let you put all your affiliate links throughout the entire blog instead of us, which is awesome. That way, if you're sharing our blog posts, if you're sharing our free courses, anywhere there's an affiliate link, it can be your affiliate link instead of our affiliate link. Because you're sending us the customer, we'll send you the commissions. So it's pretty cool. I won't talk about too much. Just go click the Make Money link and you'll see what that's about. Well, it says, be careful with vaping. It's killing folks in the USA. Stay away from those third-party refill cartridges. Yeah, I've been reading a lot about that. I'm not really worried about it myself right now because as far as I know, it's killed like 6 people, and it was CBD related and flavored oil related. And to be honest, more people kill smoking than anything. And it is crazy the government's not doing anything about cigarettes. It's obviously because they're being paid not to, but they want to attack vaping. For me, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, and I feel a lot better about vaping than I did about cigarette smoking, but I still smoke cigarettes when I golf. And yeah, but thank you, Walt. I understand. Thanks for sharing that. I shouldn't do that. I have a kid. Any more questions, guys, about anything? See if I've covered everything. Come in and do my daily updates, update all my plugins, cores, delete all my crap. Wait, I gotta make sure that I don't have a site now. Okay, no, that's good. I can delete all my crappy comments. See how fast? I try to do this once a day. I come in, update all my plugins, cores, and themes, and delete all my comments across my network of sites. Done. Know I'm secure. I know I'm updated, just like that. I guess that's it for questions, guys. So we'll kind of end it there, keep it nice and short. And next one will be in about a month. Actually, not even a month, a little less because this one was late. So thanks, guys, for coming on. I guess I got booted. Hopefully I didn't get booted off the webinar too. But yeah, we'll just leave it there, guys. Thanks for coming on. We'll put up the replay into the searchable database within the next few days. Other than that, have a great weekend, guys, and enjoy yourselves out there. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.